But this picture, which looks as if it's an old painting, is in fact not. It's trying to cover up a terrible crime. And I'll tell you the crime, really, which I have to reveal to everyone, which is, it's a lie. It says here in the author's note at the beginning of this book, in the old school they use now for the village hall, below the clock that has stood always at 1 minute past 10, hangs a small, dusty painting of a horse. He stands, a splendid red bay with a remarkable white cross emblazoned on his forehead, and with 4 perfectly matched white socks. He looks wistfully out of the picture, ears pricked forward, his head turned as if he has just noticed us standing there. To many who glance up at it casually, as they might do when the hall is opened up for parish meetings, for harvest suppers or evening socials, it is merely a tarnished old oil painting of some unknown horse by a competent but anonymous artist. To them the picture is so familiar that it commands little attention. But those who look more closely will see, written in fading black copperplate writing across the bottom of the bronze frame, Joey, painted by Captain James Nichols, autumn 1914. Some in the village, only a very few now and fewer as each year goes by, remember Joey as he was. His story is written so that neither he, nor those who knew him, nor the war they lived and died in, will be forgotten. The purpose of writing a book is absolutely that. But it's an invention. It's how I wanted the story to start, and from then on, it is the horse that tells the story. The trouble is that because of this wretched play that the National Theatre put on, people now come to the village hall in Iddesleigh looking for the picture which isn't there. And the lady who lives, Mrs. Weeks, who lives right next door to the village hall, is fed up with people knocking at her door, and in larger numbers now every week, and I suspect after the film happens even more of them there'll be. And they say, we want to go to the village hall to see the painting. And she has to say to them, there isn't a painting. And she's getting really fed up with having to explain to them that it's a fiction. And they, of course, go away really disappointed. So, when it came to the making of the film, we met an artist called Alexandra Bannister, Ali. And she was doing drawings which are reproduced in the film, which Captain Nichols draws, and are very much part of the whole film. And so it occurred to me I've got a way around this problem. If I commission her to paint a picture of Joey as it would have been for the hall, then I could have it put up in the hall, and people could come there and see the picture in situ and believe it was true. So that's what we're going to do. So here's the painting.
And that will hang now in the
village hall. That will now hang in the village hall. And you can see it says Joey, by Captain Nichols, and there we are. And so people will come to the hall and they'll walk away happy.
With their truth.
With their truth. And no one will have to have a go at Mrs. Weeks, who lives next door, about the fact that this horrible man has written something which isn't true. There we are. So anyway, I love, and it's such a beautiful picture. And interestingly, it's not totally a lie, because we have a picture at home which I bought from an antique dealer. In fact, from the guy I spoke to at the pub who'd been to the First World War. And he had bought a picture which was very like this, really like it in colour. It's one of these stable pictures by a jobbing artist. And at the bottom it says Topthorne. So I've got a picture of Topthorne. It's not Topthorne from the First World War. In fact, it's a picture painted by a proud owner of a winner of a race at, I think it was Doncaster, in 1890 something. And he was called Topthorne. And he had it painted. So I've got that picture, which is very, very similar to this. So I showed that to Ali and said, look, it's got to look like that, but it's got to be of Joey.
And he needs to be a little thicker because he's not a thoroughbred.
Exactly. And she's done it.